We have a lot to get into tonight, so let's bring in trial attorney Johnny Hawkins. Thanks so much for being with us this evening.
Nice to be here, Rochelle.
Okay, so day 3 or 4 of testimony now.
Three.
It's all running together. Day 3.
Yep.
See, expert already here. What are your impressions so far from both the prosecution and the defense?
I'm very concerned overall with this campaign. I call it that. I'm not feeling the charge. Charge should not have been brought. Nevertheless, it has been. I'm very concerned for all parents based on this charge not having been brought in Oakland County. That said, I think the prosecutor is putting on a great case. I think they're doing what they need to do if they want to get the result that they want, which is a conviction. And with regard to defense counsel, I think she's still warming up. I'm hopeful that she'll pick it up a notch because she's going to have to, based on all this going on. And again, because the prosecutor's doing such a great job.
So you disagree with the charges, but you think the prosecution is doing such an exceptional job that it's leaning towards conviction right now, and the defense still warming, not up to what needs to happen to fight this?
I think that's the only way they win, because it's the prosecution and they're putting on such a great case. However, I'm hopeful as a defense attorney that this will turn around, because counsel needs to step it up a bit. But again, I get it. She's maybe newer. This is a huge case. It's a high-profile case, and I can tell that she's not as comfortable as maybe she wants to be, but she'll get there.
Shannon Smith, I love your perspective on this. We just played a little clip. It was from the first witness today to take the stand. She owns the farm, the barn, where Jennifer Crumbley kept her 2 horses. What did you make of her testimony? It was very personal. She was talking about, Jennifer often didn't have many nice things to say about her son, even in passing along that she often called him her oopsie.
Yeah, that oopsie made me say ooh, to be honest with you. But in listening to the young lady, God bless her, I didn't find that she was that credible. And so I would have hoped that counsel would have gotten more into her overall credibility. She didn't present well to me, just to be honest with you. I heard her, but I wasn't really believing most of what she was saying. Again, as an attorney that has been in cases like this before. But again, it doesn't matter what I think. It's all about what the jury thinks. And so that oopsie baby is something that defense counsel is going to have to try to recover her client from moving forward. And so that we hope to see later down the road when it's our turn, a defense counsel's turn, to put on her case in chief.
Those little nuggets of testimony, if you will, do you think they're painting the picture of Jennifer's unfortunate character or her negligence as a parent? Did they get across what the prosecution hoped they would?
I wouldn't call them nuggets. I think they're just things that are being said. And here's what I think. I think you have to be careful. He is without sin. He or she who is without sin, let them cast the first stone. I'm a parent. All of us out here are parents. I think you're a new parent. It's a tough job, and we can't monitor everything. We can do the best we can, and I don't see here yet where they've shown that she willfully disregarded her son. They mentioned how maybe she didn't act this way when she, saw him in handcuffs. Well, that's subjective. How should she have acted? I don't know. Who's to say? I'm concerned about how they're trying to portray her. I don't think she's a bad parent. I think she made some mistakes.
I thought the defense attorney, Shannon Smith, had a couple of strong moments today, and I want to see if you disagree or agree. One was with the counselor. He was a counselor at Oxford High School at the time. I believe he's currently on leave right now. But she basically, you could tell in her line of questioning, she was getting at his expertise. He is licensed. He has all of this training. And she kind of was alluding to, if you didn't recognize the signs to the point that you were confident, you were adamant something terrible was about to happen, then how is my untrained, unlicensed client supposed to do that? Did you pull the same kind of momentum from that questioning?
Absolutely. That was the better part of her day today, to be honest with you. And I think she did a great job of doing that, because she's exactly right. I mean, your child displays or exhibits certain behaviors, but does that go to the point, even if you knew certain things in the past, that meant what? That he would conduct or do such a thing, such as commit a mass shooting? I don't think so. No parent would ever think that,
The Oakland County sergeant, he was a detective sergeant with Oakland County, I believe close to 30 years on the job. He was the last to testify today. He kind of talked about how his interview with the Crumbleys was atypical. That was another contentious moment in the courtroom. I think the judge even said, well, have you had other parents come in for an interview after their child committed something like this? What did you make of the word atypical today? Because it was used several times from witnesses?
It infuriated me.
Okay.
I really thought that it was something that was purposeful. I think all of their side, that being the state side, has been purposeful. Atypical as to what? You know, how am I supposed to act as a parent, depending on what's going on? Who's to tell us what's right and what's wrong? So I hope the jury's paying close attention to that. And I hope we have a lot of parents, good parents on the jury that can appreciate the fact that we don't know everything that our kids do, no matter what we would want to know. We would want to. I'm concerned.
My last question for you, only day 3 of testimony, day 5 overall.
Yeah.
If this jury gives a conviction, what does that change for people pursuing law, getting their law degree? I mean, is this something that you got to redo some chapters of the books?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be huge. It would have national consequences. I think the gentleman earlier, there was your legal analyst, was it Terry? Was it Terry?
Yeah.
I'm
Another
on,
defense attorney.
I'm in Terry's camp. I totally agree. This is a very slippery slope. I think if this goes through, then although they're saying it just applies to quote unquote mass shootings, and we hope those never happen, I think this could be used again in another way that no one could fathom. So I hope that this does not render the state the conviction that they want.
All right, we appreciate your time, your expertise, and certainly your perspective on this matter. Johnny Hawkins, trial attorney, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Rochelle.